welcome back to my channel. It is a rare day at the moment of no rain. It was really sunny this morning. It's actually really close now, quite muggy, so I'm predicting we will get more rain. We haven't escaped from it yet, unfortunately. Today has been Farm 24, an initiative in conjunction with Farmers Guardian and Morrison's. Basically, it's all about raising awareness of British farming, and I've been an ambassador for the day. Just been sharing my life on my Instagram as I usually do. But yeah, it's a kind of industry-wide effort to promote agriculture and what we're doing, producing food, but also sustainably with high animal welfare. So it's been a really exciting day. I've been on a live with Farmers Guardian. And yeah, it's just been a really kind of, I think it's been a community feel to it, which maybe sounds a bit cringe, but kind of we're all in this together. No combining still, so a day of errands. I took Ralph to the vets for his injection, which, albeit yes, he's a farm dog and he probably doesn't go out and see other dogs as much as maybe some other people who lived in slightly more built up areas, but it's still important. I've given him a wormer as well, so he is ready to go. I also picked up some supplies from the vets whilst I was there as well, so for the sheep, and I picked up some stubble turnip seed as well, hoping that we can get on the land soon to drill those. My job for now, I don't know if you can hear Ralph barking, he's with my mum sending the sheep through and I'm trying to turn them, so I'll be coming out from that gate just about there, and so I'll be turning them. We're bringing up our new gimmers, so our 40 new female young ewes. They've never had a lamb before, and they're getting added to our breeding flock. One thing that we have to do is vaccinate them. The vaccination is to prevent abortion, really important one, a crucial one, obviously for the good of the ewe, but also the good of the unborn lamb as well. What we have done to try and calm them down and help them know the way into the fold yard and where the handling system is put them in with the cull ewes and the last few lambs that we have, that we haven't taken to market. So fingers crossed it will be a smooth operation to get them into there, but it's the first time they've been in, so they might be a bit shy of it to begin with. There's definitely a bit of a divide. These are kind of the cull ewes more over here, and then the gimmers are all over there, not really thinking that they know what's going on or want to come in, but as I said, vital that they get this injection before we put the tup in with them. So far fairly smooth, but we've got to get them up there, and 40 of them have never been, and our tyre man is just over there as well, so that might be a bit of a distraction. But we've got an extra pair of hands from David over there. What a good egg. Here to do tyres, but helping with the sheep as well. We were planning on having to shed out the cull ewes and lambs from the gimmers, but they've basically done it themselves. There's this black ewe in here, isn't a gimmer, but then apart from that, I think they've done it themselves. What a dream. Made our life easier, saved us a job. That's the first 13 done. Distinctive little green mark on their head. They get 2 jabs. This is a pool that we use to inject them. It measures it out ready for you and just helps, as opposed to doing individual syringes for each sheep. But as you saw with that injection there, they really basically just don't flinch, and they're all happy. What we're going to do now is just run them through the race there, just for good practice, so they know where they're going and what they're doing. We have a glorious sunny morning here. Don't really know what that feels like. and I am on the Valtra. This field is the first field that we combined, so I think that was in my YouTube video last week. We did actually plough this field. Now that is not something that we usually do. We usually like to go straight in with the Missouri, so strip tilling. However, we have a brome issue in this field, a grass weed problem, and ploughing is not what we usually do, but it's what we needed to do to try and get out of this weed cycle. I'm going over with this kind of press machine, so it just kind of fluffs up the soil a bit and then presses it down. We will be drilling oilseed rape into here, so one of the reasons for putting that in is because we have more options when it comes to crop protection products. So oilseed rape is basically a different kind of plant to grass weeds, so if we're trying to control grass weeds, we shouldn't be doing any damage to the oilseed rape. But usually we'd go straight in with the Missouri, so one pass and this field would turn from stubble to drilled. Now we've had to plough this machine and then drill, so cost is so much higher in terms of time, wear and tear on machinery, but also obviously fuel as well. I'm going to explain a little bit more about some of the bits and features that I'm using today with this machine in the Valtra. First thing to note is that I am not touching the steering wheel until we get to the end. So that's because of this bit of this feature here, which basically drives along these straight lines and obviously really reduces fatigue for the driver, but also increases accuracy on these lines on each pass along the field. With the GPS, it makes it really easy when you want to do basically a break. So as opposed to having to do a really tight turn at the end, I'll go separately and start down a line here. Obviously the GPS can pick that line to the width of the machine, so I don't miss any of this bit that hasn't been done, and it means that there's no tight turning at the end, which makes it more efficient and quicker. You can really see where this machine is working, doing a good job, and also how straight the lines are. I absolutely could not achieve that straight myself. And look at those views. The other thing you'll notice is that my feet aren't doing anything, and that is because there's a button on here where you press it, you set your revs to a specific amount, and when you're safely turned round and in the kind of main run of the field, you press the button and it basically drives it for you. So it's another measure to try and help with efficiencies, but also improving your fatigue as well. And I think that's not really a point that's talked about that much if you're on the tractor for 12 hours a day, but you have these features which help your mind have that rest, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, depending on how big the field is. In those runs in the field, it's really important. On to the last bit of the field now, and that's doing the headlands. So if you don't know, the headlands are the bit around the edge of the field, and so basically it's just neating it off, covering these bits on the outside that you don't get when you go up and down the field. So you can see in front there obviously hasn't actually been done by up and down the field, so nearly finished in here. So from the tractor this morning onto sheep this afternoon, we have just had these up just to do a couple of lame feet, but we've also got the tups up, sorted their feet. We are imminently getting the tups in, so it's just making sure they are in good condition. We're then going to switch a few batches of sheep around to make it easier when we do put the tups in. We also have this ewe here in the race, if you can just see her, that black ewe there. She's got a sore foot, so on vet's advice we're going to be jabbing her every other day, so we're bringing her into a paddock close to home so it's easy for that, and we can keep her treated, keep her comfortable. She is a cull ewe, so we'll be carefully watching the withdrawal periods for the drugs we're using, so that she can then be sold at market and be safe for the food chain after the withdrawal period of the drugs. I think what's really important to note is, despite the fact that that ewe is a cull ewe, so she has no breeding value to us, it's still absolutely vital that for her time on the farm, she's looked after as well as all the other sheep, as well as any sheep which we were going to put in lamb or breed from. So that is absolutely crucial, that anything on the farm that we have livestock-wise is looked after to the best of our ability, and drugs and medication and vet's advice is taken where needed. With all the sheep separated, tups ready to go in, the next job is using this. Now, this is basically a dye which goes on the tups' chests. It's called Raddle. Now, we start off with a yellow colour and we go through different colours. Now, we change it to show when the ewes have been tupped. So if this sticky kind of coloured paste with the Raddle is on the tup's chest, when he mates with a ewe, it rubs onto the ewe's bottom, and therefore we can see that the ewe was tupped in the period we had the yellow Raddle on. We'll then move on to green Raddle, and so if a ewe was tupped later, it'll have a green bottom, and so on and so forth. But I mean, this method must have been used for years and years and years, but ultimately it's effective at giving an estimate of when a ewe should give birth. Sheep are pregnant for 4 months, 4 weeks, 4 days, give or take a little bit of time depending. And so from when they get this on their bottom, if all goes well and she holds in lamb, we can obviously work out the date to a couple of weeks of when we've got the yellow Raddle on and the green and so forth. But I'll keep hopefully updating you on videos of if we've got any numbers with the yellow Raddle, etc. Last year we were off to such a slow start with the tupping because it was so hot. This year we've got one new tup, taking our total to 3 tups. So we'll see how he gets on, and hopefully he does his job. There are other methods of doing this colouring, so you can put a harness on the tup, and then on their chest goes a kind of block of crayon. For us, we just like the Raddle. Yes, you have to get near to them a bit more often to keep topping up the Raddle, but we find that there's nothing kind of hindering their chest, and yeah, the tups are close enough to home, friendly enough for us just to change and top this colour up as often as we need to. So here is the first batch turned out with the tup, and fingers crossed he'll be getting to work soon. And here is the new tup seeing the ladies. You can see this ewe just here is lame. We've done her feet, but yeah, I think they're pleased to be out. Just trying to, here is the new tup, so hopefully he knows his job and he'll be tupping some of the ewes as soon as possible. Well, with that ewes and tup getting turned out, that is me for this video. Thank you as always for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, please do like and subscribe to my channel.